Welcome back to another video, guys. And today we're going to be going over how to win a home in a competitive offer situation where there's multiple offers that are being reviewed and you really want that home. You got to have it. You must have it. You love that home and you want to win. So I'm going to coach you. I'm going to show you how you can seize your home and get the home you want in a multiple offer scenario. So let's dive in. First thing you want to do is, if it's a really nice home and it's presented well and it's a competitive seller's market, there's a lot of people, traffic going in and out of the home, you know that it's going to have multiple offers. Let's say the home's only been on the market 4 or 5 days, okay? They have an offer review date. That's sometimes, not always, sometimes a good indication that they're expecting multiple offers, okay? It's really important to do some due diligence first and have your agent reach out to the listing agent, build rapport, build almost like a mini friendship with the listing agent so that you can get insider access and details that you might otherwise have missed that can give you a competitive edge over the competition. Here's an example, okay? When in many situations, I've reached out to the listing agent not once, but 3, 4, 5 times before we even submit an offer. I know. Crazy, right? And in each one of those conversations, I took the opportunity to kind of build friends a little bit, build trust a little bit with the listing agent, share a personal story, share a little bit about my clients, share a little bit about why they love that home, share about how they plan to use the home, okay? And just talk, find commonalities, whether it's sports or hobbies or kids or dogs or vacation or whatever it might be. Find commonalities with that person, okay? Now, I might never do another transaction with that listing agent again, but before we even get to the offer review date, I want that listing agent to love me, the agent representing my clients, okay? So, what that does is they're a little bit more open, they're a little bit more honest, and they're going to be like, listen, man, listen, hey, we have 4 offers in hand. We're expecting 3 more. Right now, the highest offer we have is at X price. Here's kind of the terms. And they give me all that information before the offer review date. Okay? So, I'm walking in when I'm writing an offer, fully loaded with all the information and knowledge that I need to conquer and beat every single offer out there that they currently have. Now, does this work every single time? No. Sometimes you put together a really strong offer using all those techniques I'm about to go over, and somebody still beats you on price. Sometimes a random cash offer will come in $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 over list price, cash, no contingencies, and just smoke everybody. And there's nothing you can do with that. I'm here talking today about most competitive offer situations, and when you're dealing with most other home buyers, here's how to stand out. Okay, number 1, if you know that there's going to be multiple offers, you need to be prepared on the price, on the financing side. So let's address the biggest thing in the room right now, price. So my strategy has always been that when it comes to price, and you know that, and you do your research, I build this communication, I build this relationship with the listing agent, I know kind of where the highest price is sitting at right now. Okay, I also know approximately what the home's going to appraise for, and that's important. I'll get to that later. So what that allows me to do is to do a form called an escalation clause. Now again, I do real estate in Washington, so this might be different in other states. But in Washington, we use a form called an escalation clause. It's like an automatic bidding similar to eBay. It's an auto bid on eBay, essentially, but for a home. And it's this form, and we start with the list price, and we escalate in increments of we usually 1% of the price, so like anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. So, and let's just say $10,000. We escalate in increments of $10,000 until we get to our maximum price that we're willing to pay for the home. So the home might be listed at $720,000, and we might be saying, hey, we're willing to pay $770,000. Okay, so that's $50,000 above list price. So what we'll do is we'll do an escalation. Start at list price at $720,000. And we'll escalate in increments of $10,000 all the way up until we reach $770,000, and that's the highest price that we're willing to pay for the home. And what that's going to do is that's going to beat every single offer in between $720,000 and $770,000. That's going to automatically escalate, so we're beating every single offer out there until we reach our max of $770,000. Now, if somebody goes above $770,000, then we lose, because that's okay, because we don't want to pay above $770,000 anyways. Okay. First form and strategy that everybody should be implementing. Number two, if you're going into a multiple offer situation, you do not want to have an inspection contingency. So what I do instead is I always recommend that my clients do what's called a pre-inspection. A pre-inspection is simply an inspection of the home. You get a full detailed report and everything, just like a normal inspection, before you even write the offer. That way, you can decide, well, do I even want the home now? Do I even want to submit an offer? Knowing the repairs needed, knowing what I have to do once I get the home, how much do I want to pay over the list price? Is it worth it? I don't know. It gives you so much information and knowledge that the other buyers may not have. Again, you're stacking wins here. You're stacking knowledge along this process. Okay? Number three, when it comes to financing. Now, in fact, let's go back. Let's go to earnest money next. Earnest money. When it comes to earnest money is a good faith deposit that goes and is applied towards your down payment. Now, a lot of buyers don't see any benefit to earnest money. And they're like, well, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. In a strong competitive offer situation, the agent, and I always recommend that you go at least 4% of the purchase price, of the list price. Okay? 4% of the list price at a minimum is earnest money. Why? Because it makes an impact to the seller. It says, hey, this is a good faith deposit. I really want this home. Okay? I'm willing to put 4% down in earnest money as a good faith deposit to get this home, to demonstrate to you how much I want this home. Okay? So coming in with strong earnest money, 4% or above of the list price or purchase price is very important. Okay, number 4, financing. This, not everybody, you can't always decide this. It's not always in your control. Sometimes it is what it is. The best possible position you can sit in for financing without being cash is if you're coming in with 20% down. Let's just be honest. However, the next strongest position is at least 10% down. Again, both the 20% down and 10% down on conventional loans. Then 5% down. Then we get into FHA. When you're coming into a competitive offer situation and your down payment is less than 4%, that does not look good. It makes it more difficult to get your offer accepted because the sellers will be worried about your financial credibility. Now, I've done it, but it does make it more challenging. So my recommendation, again, is at least come in with a 5% down payment, conventional loan, ideally 10% or above for your down payment. Okay? Next, we're going to go into appraisal. Appraisals are important. They do matter. Some people waive appraisal. I do not recommend that. Will it make you more competitive? Yes, but it's also very risky. Okay? So I'm not going to go into the details of that right in this video, but perhaps I'll do a deeper dive later. What I mean by that is that whatever price you offer, if it gets accepted, you want that home to appraise. If you remove the appraisal contingency in your offer, somebody could come in, like you could say, like let's say the home's listed at $720. You could come in at like $790, and if you waive the appraisal contingency, the home could appraise for $730, and you would be left holding the bag between the $730 and the $790. So $60,000 difference that you have to come up with out of pocket, whether you have it or not. You either magically find a way to come up with this extra $60,000, or you lose the home. Plain and simple. Whereas, if you keep the appraisal contingency, the home must appraise at offered value, accepted price. The home must appraise at that price. Otherwise, the seller has to make some adjustments. The buyer may have to come up a little bit, and the seller may have to come down in order to get to the appraised value. Because the loan will not go through if the home does not appraise at value. That's very important. The loan will not fund, the home loan will not fund unless the home appraises at value, at purchase price. Okay? Number 5, really, when it comes down to it, you want to work with an agent who really knows contracts like the back of their hand. You want a super clean offer. You want to make it no mistakes, super clean, and you want all the paperwork to be done and signed and filled out properly. A lot of agents leave a lot of blank spaces. To me, that's unprofessional. Just fill in all the blanks, man. It's autofill anyways. It's easy. Takes a few extra minutes. Just do it. Don't be lazy, okay? And number 6, when you're working with a loan officer or a bank, I always prefer loan officers. Why? Because they're more willing to work for their income. They are not always salary based. Some of them are mixed between salary and commission, and some of them are 100% commission. Whereas loan officers at banks are always salary or hourly, and they don't give two craps about you or any other person who comes in, and they're not going to provide any more effort. They're not going to work on weekends. They're not going to work after 5. They're not going to do extra work because there's no incentive for them. They're going to get paid their salary or their hourly no matter what. So why would they do extra work? Why would they go an extra mile? Why would they make an extra phone call? Why would they work extra hours? Why would they work on the weekend or do a document on the weekend when they really don't have to? So picking and interviewing the right loan officer to not only want to work hard to earn your business to get the loan funded and get the deal closed so they can get paid, but also somebody who's willing to work extra hours, somebody who's willing to work on the weekends, somebody who's willing to fill out those extra documents, somebody who's willing to go the extra mile and check on the different loan packages and different loan companies and compare and contrast. Okay, get the most competitive rate for you at the time being. Somebody who's willing to go those extra phone calls or Zoom calls, meet with you in person even. Somebody who is willing to make that phone call to the listing agent to prove to them and share with them how financially capable you are as a borrower. Somebody to Make friends with a listing agent and put them at ease when it comes to your finances. That's very important in competitive situations. Okay? So, those are, turns out, the top 6 things that you need to know when you're in a competitive offer situation and how to win in those scenarios. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to comment, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Goodbye.